They told me I would never rise. They laughed when I dreamed bigger than the box they tried to trap me in. I remember the looks on their faces, the way they dismissed me as if I was destined to fail. Their words were sharp enough to cut, but instead of breaking me, they carved something stronger inside me. Every insult became fuel. Every doubt became a reason to fight harder. They thought I would stay at the bottom. They were wrong. I became everything they feared. They said I would never be enough. They said I would fail before I even started. They said I was too weak, too quiet, too ordinary to ever matter. Their words were not just criticism. They were chains meant to keep me small. Maybe you have heard those same words too. Maybe you have felt that sting when people you trusted looked at you and saw nothing worth believing in. You know how heavy those voices can feel. You know how it feels to be treated as a joke, to have your dreams laughed at, to be told that you should stop trying before you embarrass yourself. That kind of doubt can crush a person, or it can ignite something powerful. I refused to let their voices decide my future. I learned to take their doubt and turn it into fuel. I learned to build strength in the silence, to work when no one was watching, and to rise while they were still busy doubting. This is how I went from being their punchline to becoming the vision they feared. In this journey, I will show you that their words do not have the power to define you. They can only build walls if you let them. Today, I will show you how to break those walls and use every insult as a stepping stone to your own rise. I still remember the first time I heard someone say I would never make it. They said it casually, as if my future had already been decided. Some laughed behind my back. Others said it to my face, smiling like they had the power to predict my fate. Every word landed like a stone, heavy and cold. When you hear those voices often enough, you start to wonder if they might be right. I began to doubt myself. I questioned my dreams and my worth. It felt as if their words were not just opinions, but chains tightening around me. There were nights I lay awake, replaying their insults, hearing them echo in the quiet. Those voices were relentless, especially when things went wrong. If I failed at something, I heard them whisper, "See, we told you so." It is hard to describe how much that kind of doubt can break a person. It is like carrying a shadow that never leaves, no matter how hard you try to step into the light. But what they did not know was that every insult they threw at me was planting something deep inside me. Every word they used to bury me was planting a seed, and those seeds were about to grow into something they could not control. The turning point came the day I decided their voices were no longer going to guide my life. I woke up one morning, stared at the ceiling, and asked myself a simple question. Why am I letting people who do not care about me control how I see myself? That was the day I stopped listening to their predictions and started writing my own story. I made a choice to take every ounce of anger, every memory of humiliation, and use it as fuel. Instead of letting their laughter break me, I let it sharpen me. Instead of letting their doubt silence me, I let it give me a reason to speak louder. I stopped seeing their rejection as proof of my limits and started seeing it as proof of their fear. I realized they wanted me to stay silent and invisible because that made them comfortable. I refused to give them that comfort any longer. I decided that if I was going to be underestimated, I would use that as an advantage. I would let them think I was weak while I built my strength in the dark. That shift in mindset changed everything. It turned my pain into a source of energy that never ran out. It gave me the drive to keep going long after the applause or recognition were gone. This was the hardest part of the journey. It is easy to dream about success when people are watching, but the real work happens when no one notices. I had to face nights of failure and mornings of doubt, alone, with nothing but a stubborn belief that it would all be worth it. There were days I wanted to quit. I was exhausted from the grind, drained from the sacrifices, while others were out enjoying themselves. I was working in silence. I spent late nights learning skills that nobody believed I needed. I trained, I studied, I practiced until my hands hurt and my eyes burned. The silence was both my greatest challenge and my greatest advantage. No one was there to cheer me on, but no one was there to stop me either. I learned that growth is not glamorous. It is repetition. It is failure followed by another attempt. It is keeping your head down while the world wonders if you disappeared. There were moments of self-doubt that nearly broke me, but with every step forward, I discovered something powerful. The strength I was building in the shadows was real. It was not for show. It was shaping me into someone entirely different from the person they mocked. I was no longer that fragile version of myself they had laughed at. I was becoming stronger, sharper, and more focused. I was not just preparing to prove them wrong. I was preparing to rise above them completely. The day came when I no longer recognized the person in the mirror. The weakness they had once mocked was gone. The quiet I had once been ashamed of had turned into focus and control. I was no longer defined by their opinions. I had built something they could never touch. I remember walking back into places where I had once been dismissed. The same people who had laughed at me now looked at me with unease. They realized too late that the person they underestimated was no longer standing in front of them. I had become someone they were not ready to face. I had grown into the storm they prayed would never arrive. Every skill I had worked on in the dark was now a weapon. Every scar from the journey had turned into armor. But I learned something important during this transformation. It was never about revenge. The real victory was not in seeing them regret their words. The real victory was in becoming someone I could be proud of, someone unrecognizable to the version they once knew. I did not want their validation anymore. I had found something better than their approval. I had found my own power, and that power was everything they feared. If you have ever been told you will never be enough, I want you to hear this clearly. Their words do not define you. They do not know your potential. They do not have the authority to write your story. The first lesson I learned is that rejection is not the end. It is a spark. Every time someone doubts you, you can either let it crush you or let it fuel you. Choose the second option. Let their doubt become your drive. The second lesson is discipline. Success is not built in public. It is built in the quiet hours when nobody is watching. That is where you train your mind, your skills, and your resilience. You have to be willing to stay focused, even when it feels like nothing is happening. The third lesson is about focus. Do not chase revenge. Chasing revenge ties you to their opinions. Focus on progress instead. Your success will speak louder than anything you could ever say. And finally, remember this. You are not what they called you. You are what you decide to become. The names they used to insult you are just echoes of their own fears. The power to rise belongs to you alone. Use your pain as a tool, not as a cage. Use every insult as a stepping stone, every failure as a lesson, and every moment of doubt as proof that you are still fighting. You have everything it takes to become more than they ever imagined. And when you do, you will see that the journey was never about them. It was always about discovering the strength that was already inside you. They said I would never be anything. That was their mistake. I became everything they feared, and everything I was destined to be. I started as the one they ignored, the one they mocked, the one they counted out before the race had even begun. I carried their words like a weight, but I turned that weight into strength. I used every insult as fuel to keep moving forward. I built myself in silence until I no longer needed their approval or their permission. This journey was never about revenge. It was about transformation. It was about refusing to let their voices drown out my own. I went from being underestimated to becoming unstoppable. If you have ever been told you are not enough, I want you to know this. Their opinions do not define your limits. The person you choose to become is greater than the names they called you. Carry this fire into your next step. Do not waste your energy trying to prove them wrong. Use that energy to prove yourself right. The world does not get to decide your worth. You do. Rise above the noise. Rise above the doubt. Become everything they feared.